Hello everyone, so the first thing you're going to do is chain any odd number chain the length you want the front panels of your cardigan to be. So for me, I'm going to be doing a chain of 51. Next, you're going to chain an additional chain, and from here you're going to turn your chains around so that you can see the back bumps or the back ridges of each chain stitch. Then from here, the second back loop from the hook, you are going to do a single crochet stitch. Then in that same space, you're going to draw up a loop. Then in the next back bump, you're going to draw up another loop. Then in the next one, you're going to draw up a loop, and you should have 4 loops in total on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. Then chain 1. Next, in the last stitch you draw up a loop in, you're going to draw a loop in that same stitch, the last stitch that you draw up a loop in. So this one right here that I'm showing you. Then in the next back bump, you're going to draw up another loop. Then in the next one, draw up a loop again. And you should have 4 loops on your hook in total. Then yarn over and pull through all 4. Then chain 1. And you're going to repeat that until you get to the last Trinity stitch. And in the last Trinity stitch, you are not going to chain 1. I'm going to show you what to do when you get to the last Trinity stitch. So when you get to the last Trinity stitch, you are going to be repeating the same steps I showed you earlier. So drawing up 4 loops, making sure you have 4 loops on your hook in total. As you can see right here, I'm struggling a little bit to get through there. But you're going to make sure to draw 4 loops on your hook and then pull through all 4. Now here, you are not going to be chaining 1 for the last Trinity stitch. Instead, in that last loop, the very last loop, you are going to just do a single crochet. Now, you are going to chain 1 and turn your work. Right here, you're going to repeat the steps that you did for row 1. So single crochet in the first stitch, and in that same space you're going to draw up a loop, and in the next stitch draw up another loop, and in the next stitch draw up another loop, and make sure you have 4 loops in total on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4, then chain 1. Next, in that last stitch that you draw the loop in, you're going to draw a loop in that same space. Then in the next stitch, you're going to draw up another loop. And in the next stitch, you're going to draw up another loop. Have 4 loops in total on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4. And then chain 1 and repeat the process all the way down until you get to the last Trinity stitch, which you will not be chaining 1 and just doing a single crochet like I showed you. this until you get the width you want for your front panel. Once you finish your front panels, you're going to do a chain up of 1 and cut. Next, you're going to have your front panels facing on the wrong side to your back panels, and this is just because when you flip it over, the right side is going to show. Next, you're going to single crochet the front panels and the back panel together at the top. So you're going to insert your hook into the first side row of the front panel and the corresponding side row of the back panel. Next, you're going to pull your loop through and do a chain up of 1. Then in that same space, through both, do a single crochet. In the next side row of the front panel and the back panel, you're going to insert your hook and do a single crochet. And you're going to keep doing this until you get to the end. Next thing you're going to do is seam up your sides, but before you do that, you need to figure out how long you want your armhole to be. So right here, I'm mapping out how long I want my armholes to be. So right here, I marked where I want my side seams to end. But before you do that, you need to flip your work inside out so that the seam is on the inside of the cardigan. to the last one, remove your stitch marker and do a single crochet and do a chain up of 1 and cut. Once you've done seaming up your sides, you're going to flip the cardigan right side out again. Then after this, you will be working on your sleeve. So the first thing you're going to do is insert your hook in the first available stitch of the armhole. Then you're going to do an odd number chain. So for me, I'm going to do a chain of 47. So for the sleeve, you're going to do it the same way you did the front and back panels. So just a quick little recap, you're going to do an additional chain, and then in the back bump, the second back bump from the hook, you're going to do a single crochet. Then in that same space, draw up a loop. Then in the next back bump, you're going to draw up another loop. And then in the next one, you will be drawing up a loop. So make sure you have 4 loops on your hook in total. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4, then chain 1 and repeat the process all the way down the same way you did the front and back panels. But something a little different is going to happen at the end, so I'll meet you back when I get to the end. So I just finished the first row of the sleeve, and now we're going to slip stitch it into the base. So in that first available stitch, slip stitch into there, and then in the next available stitch, you're going to slip stitch into there. Then you're going to turn your work, and those 2 stitches you slip stitch, you're going to skip those 2 and go to the 3rd stitch. Next, you are going to repeat the same process you did for the first row all the way down. And you're going to repeat this process all the way around. Once you finish your sleeve, you are going to flip the sleeve on the wrong side so that you can seam the sides of the sleeve up. So the next thing we're going to do is work on the cuff. So the first thing you're going to do is insert your hook into any side row of the sleeve. Then you're going to make a slip knot. Then you're going to pull your loop through that space that you inserted your hook in and do a chain up of 1. And in that same space, you are going to do a single crochet. Now here we're going to do a decrease. So in the first side row, you're going to draw up a loop. In the next one, you are going to draw up a loop until you have 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Then you're going to do it again, pull through all 3. Then you're going to go into the next one, draw up a loop, and then draw up another one, yarn over and pull through all 3. And you're going to continue doing this all the way around until you get back to that first stitch you started on. Now you're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet stitch you made and do a chain up of 1 and cut. Now the next thing I do is switch my color out and pull it through any single crochet stitch, then chain 1 and single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Now the next thing you're going to do is slip stitch into that first single crochet. Then you're going to chain the length you want your cuff to be. So for me, I did a chain of 8. Now the next thing you're going to do is turn your chains around so that you can see the back bumps or the back ridges. And in that first back bump, you're going to slip stitch into there. You're going to slip stitch right into that first back bump. Then you're going to slip stitch into the next one. And you're going to continue doing this all the way down, and after that I will show you what to do next. The next thing you're going to do is slip stitch into that first available stitch. And then you're going to slip stitch into the next available stitch. Then you're going to flip your work. Then you're going to slip stitch again up the row, skipping those first 2 stitches. And you're going to continue slip stitching all the way up. Again, you're going to slip stitch into the next 2 available stitches to connect it into the base. Then you're going to turn your work, skipping those first 2 stitches and doing back loop slip stitches all the way up. Then after that, you will do a chain 1 and continue the process all the way around. So I did not include this portion in the video, but for the borders, so you're going to do the bottom border first. So you're going to single crochet
into each stitch at the bottom, and then after that you will chain how long you want the border to be. For me, I did 8, a chain of 8, and slip stitch all the way until I got to the end part right here. And then for the border around here, you're going to do the same thing. Do a single crochet stitch in each stitch all the way around, starting from this point right here, not here, but here. Single crochet that first, and then you will insert your hook into the first little stitch from the bottom border, and then you will chain how long you want this border to be and slip stitch all the way around.